All right, good morning, everybody. So today's daf Chaf Daled, Seches Nedarim. I'd like to welcome back Avrami. All right, so we were discussing yesterday, we had a Mishnah. We had two Mishnayos. We had the first Mishnah, Nidrei Zruzin, and then the example was given by the Chachamim, the Rabbanan. Basically, two people negotiating, making Nedarim versus one another. And we said those are Nidrei Zruzin and don't count. Mm-hmm. Comes the next Mishnah, Rabbi Zebin Yaakov comes in and he gives a case of a person making a neder to be Mizari, somebody to come eat by him, to be his guest. And that was the reason for the neder. And therefore, such a neder is not Chal, but this is Nidrei Zruzin. So, Zok the Gemara, 2 lines from the bottom of Chav Gimel Amud Beis. That was Machlokes. So Boilu, Pligi Rabbanan led Rabbi Zebin Yaakov. Do the Rabbanan argue Rabbi Zebin Yaakov's case in his situation? And maybe it's only when it's two people negotiating, but we know that they never really intended on it. But to possibly to make a neder against somebody not to eat over, maybe the Rabbanan say that's a real neder, and the neder is chal. So Pligi Rabbanan led Rabbi Zebin Yaakov, alone or not. And if you want to say that they are indeed arguing, who is the halacha like? Is the halacha like Rabbi Zebin Yaakov that such a neder does not even need to be shayel because it's not chal at all? Or not, or is it like the Rabbanan that it is an neder? So Tashma, come and listen. We're going to bring a number of sources from different brises. It's now we learn in the Mishnah. One says to his friend, "Kainem she'eni nena lecha." A kainem, right? That I will not benefit from you. In iata naitel lebincha. If your son does not take for me basically a gift from me to you or your son, your family, so some wheat, some wine, this person can be matir as neder. He could say his neder was never chal. Why? Because the other guy can say, look, your whole neder was to give me cover, right? You wanted me to go ahead and me or my son to go ahead and accept the gift, right? And by me rejecting it, so the covenant was the offer. So even if I didn't take it, just rejecting the gift is a covenant. Therefore, basically, you've accomplished what you needed, and therefore, such a neder it would not be chal. So there was a kvaiti. The reason is achal because basically he fulfilled what his intentions were. Holav he wasn't for that. Nether who? It would be a nether. So money. Who is the author of this Mishnah? Rabbi Zebin Yaakov. It's Rabbi Zebin Yaakov Nidrei Zruzin Havi. That's only Nidrei Zruzin. That's really a nether just to that is made just to be Mizari, somebody to do something. So it can't be Rabbi Zebin Yaakov because he had to use the special svara. Ella, rather, who must it be? Shmamina, Pligi Rabbanan must be the other opinion. The Rabbanan who argue and say only in this case, right, where there's another excuse because they were kvaidi. Otherwise, the nether would have been a chal, and therefore we see the Rabbanan argue and they say this is not a Nidrei Zruzin. So Shmamina Pligi Rabbanan leha. So our answer is no. We're going to reject. I think we're going to do it 3 times. And each time with rejection, Li'elam, Rabbi Zebin Yaakov. Earlier is Rabbi Zebin Yaakov. Who might Rabbi Zebin Yaakov behind Egypt? Perhaps in this case, Rabbi Zebin would have been might in this case. It's not Nidrei Zruzin. Havi Damar Le Kalvan. Right? I'm not a dog that I should go ahead and only get benefit from you, and you not get a benefit from me. So, in other words, the reason why he wants to go ahead is he already received the favor. Right, so therefore, in this case, he might have been serious with his neder. It wasn't just a Nidrei Zruzin; he was insistent. I say that about many cases that we've seen already. But over here, since in this scenario, right, it was basically repaying him back. Yeah. So therefore, such a case does such. We're seeing the opposite svara soon. Okay. So Tashma, come and listen. All right. So therefore, the Gemara deflected that proof. Let's try again. Tashma, come and listen. Now he's making a nether to his friend, right? For you to benefit from me. So if I tell Eddie, right, you can't benefit from me. If you don't give my child a gift, right? I give my child a gift, a wedding present. Now, Rabbi Meir Omer, ad sheyitain, says Rabbi Meir, ad sheyitain, until the gift is given. Even though in this case you don't say the nether is chal, right? Why? He's kabalti. The reason is like this. I want Eddie to give my child a gift. So my child, I support my child, right? I support my child. Shkach, thank you very much. So therefore, I got to pay for his meals. Eddie provides my child a meal. I actually save money, right? So it's actually coming to me, right? By the fact that my saying, okay, if I'm not going to get the gift, I say, you know what? I don't need the gift. It's like I received it. Right? So right? By me going ahead and rejecting the gift, that's like me receiving the gift. So but if you didn't say this, nether who? It would have been a nether in such a case. So Mani. So who's this? This would be a Nidres Ruzin, right? He's just trying to get him to, he's not really being sincere. He just wants him to get to give his son a gift, so he makes such an nether. He never really would wanted it to be chal. Neither is Zuzin. So it's not Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov because he didn't need for a Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov wouldn't need an extra svara of shiachol mahareni kila hispelti. Elav rather not. It must be Rabbanan who pligi. And we see the Rabbanan. It's the Rabbanan, and they argue. The answer is low. Li'ela Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov could even be Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov in such a case. Umaydi Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov b'hai nidra havi mishum d'amrlei lav malka ana. Right? In other words, in this case, that Eddie can go ahead and say, "Look, I'm not a king that I just give out freebies all day." In other words, there's the svar in this case. In other words, maybe in this case, even Rabbi Yaakov would say, maybe the nether is a good nether, right? Because I'm not someone who could just go ahead and give everyone gifts, right? So therefore, maybe this would not be Nidre Zuzin, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov would have to come on to another svara to say that the nether is not there and not just Nidre Zruz. So Amar Le Markashisha Bered Rav Chisda Rav Ashi. So says Markashisha Bered Rav Chisda Rav Ashi. Toshma, come and listen. Nidre Einsin. Another category. Once again, we're using this to bring a proof to once again. Do the Rabbanan argue on Rabbi Yaakov, and who is the halacha like in the case of basically making a nether for someone to be a guest? Now, Nidre Einsin. What's the case of Nidre Einsin, which is another category from our Mishnah, which we'll get into later on. So he makes a nether for a friend to eat by him. And the person couldn't attend, either he got sick or his child got sick and he couldn't attend, or the river overflowed and prevented him from attending, and therefore there was another it should be also say nether is nachal because of this inus, right? Because of unforeseen circumstance. Halav hachi, but if it wasn't for this, it would be a nether. Nether, it would be a nether. Now, money. Whose opinion would this be like? If it's Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, so what did he need to come on to? Oh, it's Nidre Einsin. Since there was an inus that he couldn't attend, right? He became sick, or the river, overflowed. That's the reason why it's not good. No, in the corner of Yaakov, it should be good because it's Zruzin Havi. It's Nidre Zruzin. It was only said, it was never really to be sincere. It was just trying to say for the guy to come over and eat. Elav, rather, it must not be. But Rabbanan, Upligi, it must be the according to Rabbanan. And we sit in the argue. So the answer is no. Really is Rabbi Yaakov. Umisvar is the Adre Mizamne Lezmine. And who says it's the one, right? The one who initiated the nether, right, was the host to the invitee. No, the Zamne, the Zmina Adre Lemazamne. No, rather it was the guest who was the one who basically made the host make an neder to him. How so? What do you mean? Because this guy said, okay, you just moved into a new house, right? Invite me to your house. Okay, so Amar Le'in, okay, fine, I'll invite you. You happy? So neder zalecha, right? So now you go ahead and make a neder, right, for me to come. So he's telling him, no, it wasn't like the host wanted the guy so badly to come over and make a neder. He wasn't the one initiating it. Rather, he was the one who was told to initiate it. So it wasn't made as Nidrei Zruzin. And therefore, the chalu, and then in the unforeseen circumstance, he became sick, or the river flowed, then Harei Ela Nidrei Zruzin. Then you can't come on to the fact that it was Nidrei Zruzin because he was the one who initiated it. So rather, you have to come on to the fact that it was Nidrei Einzin.
When you say in the Mishnah,
yeah.
There's 4 kinds in the Dharm that we're talking about, and Zeruzin and Unsin are two different kinds of things.
Correct.
The machlokas between Lezer and Yaakov and Chachamim, therefore, are we saying it's in all 4?
No, only in the case of is Nidrei Zuzin just to get someone. Right, this is Onsin. But the whole question was, why did you have to come on to say that was Nidrei Onsin? That's actually still the category of Nidrei Zuzin, right? If you want them to come over, right? According to Lezer and Yaakov, that scenario, right, is really a Nidrei Zuzin. You don't have to say, oh, the nether was a chal because of ones. Even before then, the nether was made just to get the guy to come over. But no, in that case, we wanted.
Even the Bryce calls this Nidrei Onsin. The teretz really is. It's not an onus. It's really just.
No, it has to be onus because it's not Zruzin because the other guy initiated it. In other words, don't think that this case is Nidrei Zruzin. And that's why it calls it Nidrei Onsin. Otherwise, you could just say, oh, you don't even need to say Nidrei Onsin. You say Nidrei Zruzin, right? So Tashma, come listen, Yeser al Kain. So more than this, in other words, more than the case in the Mishnah. Now, the case in the Mishnah, we have to just, because we're going to do a little comparing and contrasting. The case in the Mishnah was where he wanted to answer his assets to the, invitee, to the guest, if he doesn't come over. All right, now, Yeser al Kain, Amar Lezem Yaakov, ha'im l'chaver kaidin she'eni nana l'cha. Right? So he said to him, I will not get any, right, hana from you. All right. Not that you can't get hana from me if you don't come to me. I will not get hana from you, right? Which is more of a reason. In other words, more to see this more sincere, right? It doesn't make sense for a person. If you don't come over, you can never benefit from it again. So that for sure doesn't seem to be, that Nidrei Zuzin, right? It's less of a svar. But even in this case, right? That I will not get hana from you if you don't come over. They have some bread with me. Have a warm cup of tea. Another guy, coffee. Sorry, Rami. Right, and then the Allah Hikbi and then the other one says, no, I'm not coming over. Af elu Nidrei Zruzin. Even this case is a Nidrei Zruzin, below Hodu lo Chacham. And the Chamim do not agree. So you see, Beferish, they argue Nidrei Zruzin, Samai lo Hodu Chachamim. What's mean lo Hodu Chachamim? In other words, lav dafilu b'kamaisa. Even in the first case, the original case of the Mishnah is answering the other people, his only assets for them. Ushmamina. And indeed, learn from here. In other words, in this case, we see that the Chamim do indeed argue with Yaakov that this is not considered to be Nidrei Zruzin. Ushmamina pligi rabbanan aleh shmamina. So indeed, they learn from there. They argue. So my havila no what's halacha. So Toshma goes never Rav Huna halacha was Yaakov v'chinam Rav Ada Barava halacha Rav Ben Yaakov Rav Ben Yaakov that these are Nidrei Zruzin to aser one's assets upon somebody else. They don't come as a guest because you don't need to be shayel such a neder because the neder was never intended to be in the first place. It was only intended to just to get the guy to come over, and therefore the neder is not chal, and one will not be chay to stick to that neder if it's not fulfilled. Fine. Now Mishnah. Mishnah says nidrei havoy, nedarim of havoy, of exaggeration. Of nonsense. Omar koinem im lo reisi b'derech hazeh ka'ele Mitzrayim. Guy's coming home from work. Wife yells at him, "Why are you late?" You don't believe how many people were out there, right? It was like the amount of people leaving Mitzrayim. Ka'olei Mitzrayim. 600,000 people did. So such a case is exaggeration. Now, there's actually going to be two examples, right? The Ram points out really two types of examples that were listed here. So the first is an example of, it's more of a description, a way that people exaggerate, right? So, Ka'olei Mitzrayim, right? When you say something weighs a ton, okay? You say something weighs a ton, that's something that people use to mean that it weighs a lot. So Ka'olei Mitzrayim means there's a lot. All right, that's still considered to be a nidre havoi, right? Huh?
What's the column in that case? The column that you're also to me is
right. Yeah, right. So kaidem, right? So it was why are you late? There were so many people. What are you talking about? There was nobody there. It says kaidem. Yeah, I won't get any hana from you if I didn't see 600,000. If there weren't 600, the kaidem Mitzrayim on the road. Right. In other words. But both, no, that was the condition. No, it's I'm going to be usher if I didn't see it, right? But I saw it, so I shouldn't be usher, right? You didn't really see it. You didn't see 600,000. So are you usher to out the fruits? No, you're not usher the fruits because that is an expression used for exaggeration, right? Someone would never say, right? Oh yeah, help me carry this. It weighs a ton. That people say. No one will say, help me carry this. It weighs 700 pounds. So that means 700 pounds, right? But people say, 736 pounds. It just means that probably weighs 730. It's not a form of expression. Next case, or if he says, right? If I didn't see a snake like karas beisabat. So the ran goes in. It doesn't mean exactly like the length of like a beam, like or the thickness, but it actually means almost the ridged back of the nachash, right? What was of a snake was ridged, which it's not. So that's not even true, right? So this statement, right, means it's an untrue statement, right? So therefore, that's considered to be nidre havai. Now, Tana.
Hyperbole.
But the other one is more of a hyperbole, but not.
Right.
But that's right. Now, Satana, now we get the whole machlekes rishonim. Satana, nidre havai mutaren shvuas havai. Now the question is, what's the next word? Asur. So the nedarim such as these are mutter. That is, you don't need to be shayel. Shvuas havai. Let's just look at the words. Let's just look at the Ran for a second, right? So shvuas havai asur, right? So kach shavuos havai mutaros, right? The Ran learns the opposite. He says that they're mutter. In other words, they're not. Shavuos not the same. Not the opposite. So basically, it's going to come down to like this. Let's explain first, and then we'll get into the explanation. So now, heichi dami shavuos havai. Okay, so you want to say Alan had a very good point. Okay, so where's the kainin coming in? Now let's see where the shvua is coming in, because shvua usually doesn't mean on an object; it means on yourself, right? To do something, not to do something. So let's see. So we're saying, let's go with the Ran's girsa of just like nidre havai are mutter, so too shvus havai are mutter. All right, we're changing around that word, right? So what are shvus havai? I'm making a shvua. So midim kamar, right? So if he's saying, I'm making a shvua, right, that I didn't that I didn't see on the street today, right? The amount of people that call him Mitzrayim. So what's he saying? Where's the shvua here? Right? What's going on? Okay, fine. So you saw, you didn't see it, right? So Amar Abaye, the Amar shvua shiraisi. He's not saying I didn't see. He's saying I did see. So he's making a shvua that I saw today, 600,000 people on the road. That's what his shvua is. So Amar Le Rava Im Kain Lam Li Lamemar. Okay, so what's the chiddush there? The guy is saying, right, a shvua, right? He's saying a shvua. So are you coming to try and teach that he gets malchus, right, for saying a shvua shad, right? So maybe he get punished for that, right? So what's the in Kain Lam Li Lamemar? The ode Dumia the Nether Katani. It seems to be that we're making a comparison, right? We had two cases in the Mishnah by Nadarim. So Tana Nidar Havai Mutarim, and Shavuos Havai also that Mutarim. So we should be going similar to that case. So Elam Rava says like this: Be'omer Yasur Peros Ha'olam Alai B'Shvua Im Larisi B'Derech Hazeh Kalei Mitzrayim. So he's not now. Now we're making it very specific to the case of Nadar. The Neder says this apple pie that you just baked is also for me to get hana. If I didn't see, if I didn't see 600,000 people, oh, Mitzrayim today. So we'll say, okay, that he wasn't being serious. He was just using an expression. Okay. Now, in this case, I'm making
more than because he's saying something that sort of matters. Of course, I didn't see 600,000 people. You never see 600,000.
Right. So, but what he's saying, right? What he's really saying is he's saying truth. He's saying I saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people were in the street today. So therefore, since that expression, even though it's not necessarily right, it's an expression for a lot of people. Nevertheless, it's not a neder. It wouldn't be chal as a neder, right? And that's the chiddush over there, right? So he said, so he's now he makes a shvua, right? So he's saying all the fruits of the world are usher to me. The shvua through an oath, right? That's the oath. So in this case, right? So what do we say in this case? So even though that that he is the expression that he used is not the what's it called? The fruits would not be usher to him, right? Because he didn't see that amount of people, even though it's only using an expression, right? That people say for a lot of people, since that wasn't accurate, therefore the fruits would not be usher to him, and that would be the case, same case, the equal case of the shvua to the shvua to the case of the neder. However, one would be chayiv for malchus for making a shvua shav, for making the shvua. It counted like you make a shvua, but you did not ask for the fruits. So therefore, in the case of Nadar where you don't get malchus for making a false neder or a neder shav, so therefore there's no neder. The neder zachal. The fruit is mutter. In this case, once again, the shvua is just like it. It's still mutter, right? It's considered to be a shvuas havai, but nevertheless, we say in this case that he did violate the shvua, but the peros are not usher. Maybe when he says, when I saw on the road, right? He's saying, what is it? Right? He saw basically, right, an anthill, right? I saw an anthill with thousands of ants, hundreds of thousands of ants, right? And I called the ants. Each ant was like, Mitzrayim. So he goes, yeah, I saw 600,000. I saw 600,000 ants, right? That was referring to Olam Mitzrayim, the Shabri Mishtaba, and therefore maybe the Shvua was true. And if the Shvua was true, and therefore maybe that not Peros Olam should be Aser. So the Gemara answers, when a person makes a shvua, it's according to the way people understand the language. Right? And we don't consider ants to be people, so therefore Enachanami, he might have been referring to, but when he says on the road today, I saw the amount of Ka'elim Mitzrayim, he can't say he's referring to ants, rather he must be referring to people, and that he didn't do, and therefore the shvua is not chal for the peros to be aser, and we just say that so the peros are mutter, just like in the case of another that they're mutter, and we'll stop here. All right, shkayach. It looks a little. Is it longer?
Well, the first part is, but the other two aren't.
All right, fine. All right, 7 o'clock. The nice thing is 7 o'clock. If we don't